Let's go. Move it, we did.
You're under arrest. You're under arrest. Stop resisting.
I just want to tell you guys this. The best times 10 Conor McGregor you've ever seen right now. Better than he was when he was in his prime. The most focused, wants to do everything right. I mean, he's training his ass off each and every day. He's eating right. He's going to church. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. This is not a Conor McGregor that we've seen in the past couple of years. This is the best Conor McGregor that I've personally ever seen. And I'm talking on TV and everywhere. I've never seen a Conor McGregor like this, more focused than I ever thought he ever could get, but he is.
What's the David Feldman confidence meter at on us seeing him fight at the White House this summer?
Conor had said publicly, that his contract was a little shaky because of the pay-per-view point that he had in there, but I'm sure that the UFC wants Conor McGregor to fight. He's going to fight, and they're going to make it work, and it makes sense for him to fight the White House. So my confidence level is probably around a 99%.
We're getting into the game here. All right.
My strong rockets. These are missiles, yeah. These are fucking missiles. I'm 100%. This is, yeah? We're going in here 100%. I'm going into this fight 100% Conor McGregor, not 92. 100% Conor McGregor. So it has to be really meticulous. We were right there with the last one. As a unit, we do it, right?
Tsarukyan, is he the hottest guy right now? I don't see anybody controlling the media as well as Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan's getting more headlines and doing more clicks on social media than Ilia Topuria, just by example. I feel like this guy's ready.
Listen up, because this is what separates the real ones from the pretenders in this game. We're talking about that burning intensity that only comes when everything's on the line. This isn't some social media buzz or flash in the pan moment. This is where legends get tested in the furnace of competition. When the lights are brightest and the pressure is crushing, that's when you discover what someone is truly made of. You can forget about Instagram followers and viral moments, because none of that matters when you're standing across from someone who wants to take your head off. Real champions build their reputation one fight at a time through pure dominance in that cage.
Tsarukyan has now made headlines. Tsarukyan works with Coach Cal. That's a piece of the story, because Tsarukyan came out yesterday and said, I'm the number one contender. I am to fight for a belt. But if there's a logjam at 155, fine, I'll just go to 45 and fight for the belt. And I don't know how much he meant it, but these things are interesting. Once they're said, they become real.
What you need to understand is this level of mental warfare requires an unshakable foundation. The kind of fighter who sees obstacles as opportunities has that rare combination of intelligence and killer instinct that can't be taught. Conor has to face the mirror and ask himself what he's really after here. Is this about chasing another moment in the spotlight or cementing something that lasts forever? Because if that burning desire for championship gold isn't fueling every training session and every grueling sparring round, then you're just putting on a show. You're not building a champion mindset.
I think he is serious, is because he then justified it, and he was talking about Coach Cal. All he said, though, is, my coach, we did the math, we can do it. And Coach Cal is a calculus genius, and he breaks everything down, and calories in, calories out, and monitors your workouts. And I'm just sharing for you that, what do you think of that? I mean, this kind of went wild online. My own phone was getting text messages. Like, James, I was on an airplane, and James Madison has led me. I was like, did you see this about Tsarukyan? And I stopped what I was doing and I go,
Now here's where things get really fascinating. Championship preparation operates on a completely different level than what most people understand. Elite fighters break down their craft to the molecular level. This goes way beyond just showing up to practice. We're talking about the scientific deconstruction of what makes someone unstoppable. Every meal consumed and every rep completed by someone like Masvidal doesn't just develop physical strength. It builds that unshakable confidence that separates someone who hopes they might win from someone who absolutely knows they will. When you're stepping up weight classes and gunning for titles, that mindset becomes everything.
okay, great. Can you get a headline? Is that something that people believe and that people are interested in? Check and check. He had those boxes. A next step, but it's a much higher step, is to get the guy with the belt or the guy with the opportunity to respond. He already got Lopez. I imagine we're going to hear from Volkanovski anytime now. What do you guys think about it? But there's more.
What's happening right now goes deeper than just calling someone out. He's strategically positioning himself as the undeniable choice while forcing everyone to pay attention. That's championship level thinking right there. Instead of waiting around hoping for an opportunity, he's manufacturing the conversation and making it impossible to ignore. Dropping Masvidal's name in this context shows the kind of calculated pressure and unbreakable determination that breaks lesser fighters. This is exactly where pretenders usually fall apart, and true champions get forged in fire.
That he's got all this different potential parity. But that doesn't answer the question on what you think about that, because in many ways, does it solve a problem? Sure it does. We acknowledge in this sport, Arman is the number one contender. We acknowledge in the sport that Arman should be fighting for a world title. So how are we going to do it? Just move down to 145. Well, but we also acknowledge that Lerone Murphy should be fighting for a title. We acknowledge that Elo.
While there are definitely hungry contenders grinding in the background trying to prove themselves, here's what can't be argued. A McGregor fight becomes something bigger than just determining who deserves the belt most. It transforms into this massive spectacle about who commands the spotlight and who owns center stage. It's about more than just skill or technique. It's about that deep understanding that capturing the biggest moments and that gleaming championship gold requires embracing complete chaos. It's about creating those canvas moments that mesmerize millions worldwide. That hunger for undeniable greatness has to burn deep inside you.
Potential options. I'm just wondering, like, what do you think about that? Do you believe that a bigger guy in Arman, do you believe if he cuts down, he therefore takes precedent? Do you believe that? Because when Ilia Topuria, who wasn't just the number one guy, he was the champion of the world, moved to 55, there was a little bit of pushback by you, the community. There's a little bit of pushback that just said, hey, listen, you haven't proved yourself here yet. Khabib himself said, we're not going to fight him. You're speaking for Islam. This is before Islam had left the way. He said, we're not going to fight this guy.
Every single time Conor McGregor has stepped into that octagon, he's carried the weight of expectation. Those championship belts from his past and all those legendary moments are behind him now. They're incredible achievements, absolutely, but they're history. It's not about his reputation or his status or any of those external factors. It's about that relentless and unbreakable drive burning inside. Do you really think this is just about getting back? You're completely missing the essential point here. This is about reclaiming the deep respect of the sport itself. That respect belongs to those who truly sacrifice everything for it. Pretenders have their brief moments that get forgotten quickly, but champions don't just win fights, they elevate the entire sport and make believers out of everyone watching. So what's your take on all this?
We're putting everything in reverse. Like yesterday when Arman said it, this got a great reception. Everybody loved it. Ariel loved it. I loved it. James Madison loved it. I mean, I'm just sharing. But now that we've had a day and we've thought about it, do you still love it? And I think Arman is going to be just fine. I mean, I think that the final conclusion, he's going to be just fine. Stay at 155. The opportunity's coming. I think that that's where we're at. But he's now created another dialogue. So the way this works is we've got to exhaust all options.
He's not just sitting back waiting for things to happen. He's aggressively willing this fight into reality and forcing the narrative to bend to his vision. His declaration of intent sends shockwaves that everyone in the division feels Masvidal absolutely understands what's coming, and he's preparing every weapon in his arsenal. A real champion doesn't just wait for opportunities to present themselves. More importantly, they shape the entire story and control what everyone expects to happen. If you think you're watching someone just being polite and generating some headlines, you're seeing this completely wrong.
Great job, he's in front of the media. But, and there is a but, I've never liked the idea of, I want to fight for a championship. I've never liked that approach more than a specific guy. Than a specific, put your finger in the chest of Ilia Topuria. Oh, by the way, he happens to be champion. It happens to also be a championship opportunity. Boy, I hadn't even really thought of that.
Real champions don't hunt for gold belts as their primary target. They hunt specific individuals. They have a particular opponent they want to break and a specific fighting spirit they want to crush. The championship belt is just context. It's the natural byproduct that comes when you completely dominate your target. Those brutal finishes and uncompromising performances happen because he's not just seeking any random opportunity. What you absolutely have to recognize is he's viewing this as pieces of a puzzle, studying every weakness and every opening while planning each devastating strike. If you're getting distracted by the bright lights and all the surrounding noise instead of staying laser focused, then let me make this perfectly clear. You're not championship material. That difference separates everything in this fighting world.
I find that personal grudge approach to be stronger, but Arman's in a unique spot. And one of the things about the way that Arman is playing this is to make sure that he lets everyone know he doesn't care. That if you're trying to hold him down or you're trying to punish him for whatever it might be, he doesn't care. So, I like it. I think that this is wise. But 145.
Do you actually think this individual anger is just wild and uncontrolled emotion? Because if that's your take, you're missing everything. For a true champion operating at the absolute highest level right now, that controlled fury is the fire-forging Conor McGregor's skills and sharpening him into a deadly weapon. This confrontation naturally goes beyond the simple boundaries of that cage and requires total commitment to pure violence. While Masvidal can lean on his street fighting background and raw aggression, the fighter who stays completely calm and perfectly centered while surrounded by chaos is the one who claims that gold burned that essential truth deep into your memory. What you need to gather from this entire serious conversation about the fighting game is this. It's not about that shiny championship belt representing something far more primitive, something that echoes in fighters' souls long before they feel the crushing pressure of your unwavering determination. You have to grasp this core truth. Real champions aren't chasing belts around. They're pursuing specific men and creating timeless stories through unimaginable fires of competition, staying unaffected by complete disorder because that's exactly where genuine indestructible character gets revealed. This is where you push past your limitations and become truly unstoppable. So step up right now, find your Masvidal, welcome your storm completely, and always fight from within while staying savage.